Hi guys, welcome back. Just out on the second ride now on the FSE250e, the direct link. I've just put another clutch lever on. I'll just stop for a minute. And I've forgotten to put a cable tie on there, but that's not a problem because we're going to look at sort of changing the cockpit a little bit anyway. But second ride on the FSE250e. If you remember that I said in the last video about the clutch lever, because I like to do a bit more technical riding. Now I've got a one sort of finger operation lever, which is quite cheap. Picked it up on eBay for, I think it was 11 quid delivered. Just thought I'd try it, and it's sort of classed as, or on the eBay description it was shown as a stunt lever, and it's got a flexible adjuster on the head there where the cable goes in. The cable pull with this is a little bit heavy, but because I've got big hands anyway, I'm not overly concerned at the moment. It's not like I'm going to be doing hard enduro and working the clutch all the time, so I'm not too concerned. So that's the first thing. And the other thing, I'm quite happy with the grips and the throttle housing switch and the switch gear. It's the handlebars I don't like. They're a copy of a twin wall rental twin bar, and if you've got twin walls or you've had them, there's not enough room. I want a little bit more space in the manoeuvrability of the levers and the switch gear. And I'll ditch that bar pad as well and just have a small pad up front. I might even have some sort of navigation system set up on this. And I want wraparound hand guards as well. I don't like the plastic flag. I never have done. I've never rode, had my own bikes which I've run with plastic flags, because I usually get into a tight situation and end up laying the bike down or doing something or other. And knowing me, with this particular bike, I will take it into some sort of tricky situations where there is a chance of laying the bike down. So I don't want the grips getting damaged, I don't want the levers getting damaged. So for me, it's going to be a new set of bars, probably some fat bars, some rental fat bars, some decent wraparounds on, and I've got the mirror on at the moment because I'm just mainly riding it on the road. I think we're less than 10 miles still on this bike, so we're still running the engine in. Yeah, so it's going to be, we will have a mirror on at some point, a different mirror. We'll have probably a folding mirror, probably a ram mount and a second take mirror on there. But other than that, well, one of the other things as well is the switch gear comes with a clutch set up on the wiring. So basically you cannot start the bike if it's in gear without it being in neutral at the moment. So if I had the standard clutch lever on, those wires will be plugged in, and as soon as you pull the clutch in, it enables you to start the bike in gear. At the moment I can't do that, so I'm going to have to bypass that, just get a loop in there, so it just takes that out of the equation. So what we're going to do today is just going to have a bit of a ride round, and I'll just tell you what my thoughts about how it feels. I'm getting to like the power of the bike. I really am getting to like the power of the bike for this, for an air-cooled bike. Now, somebody's said to me, "What's it like? How does it compare to the XR250?" Now, I can't tell you because I never lived with an XR250. I mean, I had a go on a couple of them back in the day, but it's that long ago. You can't really sort of give a true reflection of how this bike compares to them. But what I would say is, where shall I start? Having owned a KTM EXCF 250, it's not far behind. It's not far behind at all. I mean, the KTM variant, or Austrian variant, has got a little bit more power, but this isn't a million miles away. The downside with this bike is that if you start putting it into situations where you're doing really long climbs, the bike's not going to get the cooling that it needs. So that's the only drawback. But having said that, it's aimed at being a trail bike, sort of bike that you're going to be ridden and kept moving, as opposed to taking it into really long switchbacks and riverbeds and things like that, where you're going to be getting stuck and burning the clutch out, or doing whatever you do in those situations. I mean, I've got a 300 two-stroke, and that's the hard enduro bike. I won't take this where I might take that, but this at the moment it feels really good. We'll just try and get a bit of a top speed run down this this road over here. Just see what we're doing now. Standard gearing at the moment is 1348 on this. And it pulls along really nice. You do. Showing there, and we got up to about 67, 68 mile an hour, and that was pretty flat out with the gearing what's on it. And I think really the bike is quite low geared, so if you're going to do some of the stuff that I think I'm going to do on this, I probably might want to up my gearing a little bit to give me a better top speed. But riding along there, considering I've got knobblies on, it felt smooth, and the vibrations are very minimal. So yeah, we're just on a bit of an incline there. We're up to 60 miles an hour. I mean, how fast do you want to go? That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, until we really start pushing this bike, then we'll sort of find its limitations. But round here, oh, neutral. Suspension wise, I've just backed all the clickers off. I think once we get going with it, which is probably going to be the back end of November, because we've got things like Sea to Sky coming up. I'm going to Turkey for the Sea to Sky event, helping out there with Eurotech. I'm taking a bike with me as well. I'm taking the 300 two-stroke there, so I can do a little bit of playing on that while I'm out there. And then when I come back from Turkey, I think it's a week after I come back from Turkey, I'm going to Spain for a week trail riding at Whole Shot Holidays with some friends, which takes us to the back end of October. And then I think the first proper outing on this will be in Wales around the sort of second week in November, which is going to be a trip down to sort of central Wales there with some friends, and we've got a full week into trail riding. So the plan is to take the bike then and really give it its first proper outing, and we'll see how it performs on the Welsh trails. Let's go. I'm slowly getting used to this this clutch lever I put on. Because, you know, I do always try and cover the clutch and the front brake with one finger. And again, I've got these boots on. Somebody, I think, yeah, the guy who in America who did did the first initial video review of this bike, complained or said that the gear shifter was a bit too far away. I don't think that's really a problem for me at the moment. I've got size 12 feet anyway, so if you've got little feet, you might think about getting a shorter gear shifter. But for me at the moment, it's not too bad. I mean, I am sometimes a bit sloppy with my gear changes, and you know, I must admit, I need to sort of sharpen up a little bit. Sometimes you get a little bit lazy at times, don't you? But I just need to try and focus a bit more on that, especially on a new bike. I think what we'll do is, because it's really annoying me, is this: we're going to just nip back to the house and just put a cable tie on that handguard, and then we'll take it for a longer run. Okay, so we've got those little issues sorted. Got a cable tie, we've sorted out the clutch bypass switch as well. I'm just cruising along at like 50 miles an hour at the moment, which I think for this stock gearing is about right. Just on a national speed limit road. So I'm just sort of holding. We've got 60 mile an hour on the speedo. It's holding it fairly well. Quite a lot of wind blast at the moment, obviously with no protection as such at the front, so you know, my body's getting all the wind. Let's see what we've got here. That'll do. At some point or other we're going to be doing some miles per gallon tests. Thank you. Hi, love you, alright? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, number 1 please. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Okay, so full of fuel. Take it on a little trail. Third gear. Suspension feels better from my initial settings. So we'll just have a run down this track down here. Nothing crazy. A steady ride down. Test here. Let's get it up to 60 miles an hour. A 60 mile an hour there for a bit of a distance. You do feel a bit of vibration, more so from the tyres, I think, just resonating through. You're just feeling a little bit on the bars, but I think if I up geared it, so went to a 14 tooth front sprocket, I think for going out in the Dales, having a pot around Wales, you know, if you're doing like a 100-mile sort of loop, I think that would probably be perfect. If you're starting to do any more technical type riding, I would leave the gearing as it is. Okay, sails about. You wind it on and it's got some go in it, it really has. I think a lot of trail riders would really like this. a pleasure to ride it. And you can tell I'm just sort of getting my confidence up with the suspension and knowing its capabilities. Finds neutral easy. Are we recording still? Yes, we are. So, second proper ride I think we've done, probably, let's have a look. We've done 30 miles on it today, in the last hour or so. And it's nice, it's quite, how can I put it? It's lovely to ride. It's lovely to ride, I enjoy riding it. As an enduro bike, a trail bike, entry level, I don't think this can be beaten. It's going to take some beating, is this, from the weight aspect of it as well. Obviously it don't match you know, something like a KTM, but like I said before, having owned a 250F, a 2017 250F, this is not that far behind. It's not a million miles behind it at all. It's got some go. You know, the 250F did have that bit more pickup, but it's not a million miles away. We'll see how we get on in early November in Wales. There are a few weak points, shall I say. I mean, if you come off in a bit of a spill and you hit the fuel pump, that might sort of get damaged fairly easy because it's plastic. So that might be something we need to look at. And I know somebody has previously on one of the other GPX bikes made like a cover, a metal cover, what covers the whole fuel pump area to protect it. So that might be something we look at if we start taking it into more rugged technical areas. If we start dropping it a lot, especially on the left hand side. Definitely the clutch lever has made all the difference today from the initial ride, having that one finger just to manipulate the clutch and get more of an engagement and disengagement. What else? Yeah, and again, the cockpit, we just need to change the bars. I'm not happy with the handlebars. I don't like the twin walls. I want a bit more room. So we're going to get some fat bars on, some wrap rounds as well, so we can just protect the levers, and maybe some navigation on as well, because we will be doing some long distance, some trails on this. So we need some navigation, you know, navigation equipment, whether it's my Garmin or whether it's an iPhone mount or something or other. We'll have to see. So time to head home, I think. Let's go.